better, stronger. basictrailers.com.au.
When you've been around for over a century, you know a thing or two. And Business SA and Ray White have almost 300 years between them. So when an alliance is formed between Business SA and Ray White Business Sales SA, they're bringing all their experience to your business, making sure it's in top shape, whether you're buying, selling, or somewhere in between. So go on, touch base with the experts. Search Ray White Business Sales SA. Proudly partnered with Business SA.
Afternoon Aldi shoppers, this is a message for Kate Hassler in aisle 3. Hey, we know you see other supermarkets.
What? You do?
Yeah, it's cool. Really. Go get that smoked herring paste next door.
You're just saying that.
Nah, I mean it. But you'll save more if you shop at Aldi first.
You'll always be my first shop.
We love you.
What about me?
We love you too, Pete. Aldi. Good. Different.
Footprints, hundreds of them, thin ones, big ones, muddy ones, in every room of your house. You might expect that from tradies when you're renovating, but not when you choose Bathrooms by Design. All our tradies, including tilers, plumbers, electricians and carpenters, are overseen by one project manager. They're flawless, meticulous and as coordinated as a ballet, but without the tutus. Reward yourself every day with a luxury bathroom. View our designs at bathroomsbydesign.com.au.
Need a forklift? Don't just get a forklift, get a Toyota forklift. Toyota is the world's #1 forklift brand with a great range of pallet jacks, walkie stackers and reach forklifts right up to their leading Toyota counterbalance forklifts. Legendary reliability and safety with cleaner, greener electric options, Toyota can tailor the right forklift solution for you. It's all part of the Toyota Forklift Advantage. For more, visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au. Get a Toyota forklift.
$13.95. Adelaide's FIVEAA. This is Angie McBride.
It is coming up to 10 minutes past 3, 8223 0000. We'll talk motoring in just a second, but you want to get those calls in because the time goes very, very quickly. Hey, have you noticed around town, I think there's one in Rundle Mall and at the railway station, these big gold-looking, I don't know if it's Perspex boxes. They're about 3 metres high, 3 metres wide, and they've just got this gold glow on them. Do you know what they are? Have you? I don't know if are you allowed to go in them? I think there's about, how many? I think maybe 2. See, we love things big in Adelaide, don't we? The mall's bowls, the massive pigeon down there in the mall as well. So we might chase up to find out what these gold boxes are. Or if you know what they are, give me a call, 8223 0000. We are on the case of the gold boxes. We will find out, don't you worry.
Riding along in my automobile, my baby beside me at the wheel. I stole a kiss at the turn of a mile, my curiosity running wild, cruising and playing the radio with no particular place to go.
Yes, it is that time of the week for motoring, 8223 0000. Trent Nicholic, the managing editor from drive.com.au. Hello, how are you?
Hey, Angie, I'm well, thank you. I was in Adelaide a couple of weeks ago, and 2 things. One of Jade's listeners came and said hello to me, which was lovely, and said g'day and that he listens in and keeps up to date with what we're talking about. And 2, I saw those boxes you're talking about, and I'd love to know what they are, so I will make sure I'm listening in case somebody can answer the question.
We will find out before the end of the week.
I know you will.
And Josh has just said in my ear, why didn't you come in, Trent?
Oh, I'm in trouble. That's why I snuck in and out. No, I was just down there very quickly, but I'm going to try to make sure next time I'm down there it's on a Tuesday so I can come into the studio.
Yeah, it's all about us.
I'll do my best to make that work.
Okay, beautiful. Hey, Trent, before we talk about what we're going to talk about, I saw a pop-up come up somewhere yesterday about I think it was the Mitsubishi Triton Ute.
Mm-hmm.
It was different, well, not even a colour. It had all these printed looked like, I don't know if it was camouflage or... Is that new? What's that one about?
Yeah. So what's happening is, and it's funny, I was scrolling through our site a minute ago just looking at some news. We've got the latest update that we've got there. If you go to drive.com.au, there's a new Triton coming. So for 2024, there will be a new Triton coming. We're having a look at it in the next week, I think it is. One of our guys is going over to Thailand for the global reveal of it because, of course, they're built in Thailand. So it's a newly developed chassis and a clean diesel engine. There's a whole bunch of new technology coming. The one that you saw could very well be a test mule that's got a lot of the camouflage on it, so you can't quite tell what it looks like. And I think...
Okay.
Yeah, because what that weird camo stuff does is it sort of deflects what the lines and the exterior shape of it look like. So it's a clever way for them to be able to test it on the road, but not really let the cat out of the bag as to what it looks like.
Trent, well, it hooked me, and I thought, they've done like a fancy paintwork with some kind of weird pattern.
Yeah. No, you can do it. You can paint like that. You can get stickers on that look like that. But, yeah, that'd just be camo for a test mule because there's a new one coming.
Hey, and the other one that I did see, and I'm going through your website so I can tell you exactly what it was. It's sort of quite new. Oh, there's some Tesla hack that you can... What is it? A secret? It's a secret Elon mode. Do we want to talk about that, or is it a secret?
No, not at all. You've picked all the good stuff out of the news section, that's for sure. Some hacker, and I mean this is the worry, to be honest, Angie, with these modern electric vehicles that have got all this crazy technology in them, is that ultimately there's a way to hack into the system. So a hacker has uncovered a secret mode that's hidden well within the software of Tesla's electric cars, and the hacker claims that it removes the requirement for drivers to pay attention when semi-autonomous technology is being used. So just to be very clear with this isn't in Australia, but this is someone overseas. But basically, with autonomous vehicles, at the moment, you're not permitted to sit in the passenger seat of a car while it drives itself down the road in Australia, right, for argument's sake. In other parts of the world, their view and their legality surrounding autonomous driving is very different. But what Teslas and some of these other vehicles do is they, I guess, cover themselves by saying they've got semi-autonomous driving modes. Now, what that means in the real world is you and I could be sitting in the car, we put it on cruise control, we're driving down the highway, and the car will keep itself in the lane and maintain the speed that it's doing safely. But what I have to do is put my hands on the steering wheel every 10, 15, 20 seconds, whatever it is, in order that the car knows that I'm awake and I haven't fallen asleep behind the wheel. So in Australia, it's not going to be an option really because it's illegal anyway. But it's just really interesting to me. There are situations we see where Tesla behaves a little bit like they're in the Wild West, to be honest, and this would be an example of it, because if they've programmed a secret mode into their vehicles which disables that safety system, and a hacker can work it out, that to me is completely unacceptable. Like, you would never see that readily available in a Mercedes-Benz or a BMW or a Toyota or a Kia or a Hyundai. So I think Tesla has got to take a close look at this and sort it out.
Well, my first question would be, if you're a driver, why would you want to turn that mode off? And secondly, Tesla obviously put it in there for a reason. Is it an emergency thing in case the car doesn't stop, or why would they...
That would be too hard for you to get to, I would imagine, and get to it quickly. So if you need to hack into it, to answer your second question, I don't think you'd be able to get in there fast enough. And to be honest, if you've got a car in autonomous mode, a steering input, a throttle or a braking input will cancel it anyway. So if we are going down the highway, as I suggested, and I put my foot on the brake, and I don't mean slam your foot on the brake, it's just put your foot on the brake, it'll cancel the autonomous driving mode. So that's that one. And then I think the issue with autonomy is that manufacturers tell us repeatedly, yeah, we're ready to go to full autonomous driving, we've got the technology, the cars are capable of it. The simple answer is no, they're not. They might have the technology, but the cars are not capable of doing it safely outside of a controlled environment. And 90% of the driving that we do in a country like Australia, and not just Australia, but around the world, but specifically for us, is outside of a controlled environment. There are animals, there's water on the road, there's weather conditions, there's fog, there is poor line marking, there's chopped up road surfaces, there's people crossing the road. There's all sorts of things that are not within a controlled environment. So I don't think you're going to see a government in Australia, either federally or at a state level, anytime soon that has an appetite to, I guess, legislate people to be able to use these vehicles driving themselves around. No. Certainly not in our lifetime. I think it's going to be a very long time away before we see that generally.
Why would you want to? I mean, and it's happening here in Adelaide, and I know it's happening in other states. Yeah, every other day, or probably every day, we're hearing of a death on the road. So I don't even know why you would even consider that as a thing. Are we that lazy that you can't even put your hands on the steering wheel?
Yeah, well, Angie, that's a great point. And I think the other thing too is, and if you just think about this in a general sense, not just in vehicles, but I use this analogy all the time. Humans, I don't believe in general, are very accepting of the fact that they might be killed by a machine and that nobody's responsible for it. Our legal system almost is underpinned by the reality that if something bad happens to you and someone else is responsible, they are put before a court and they're charged with whatever it is they've done to you. So the reality is if there's a self-driving car and it runs over a pedestrian, who's at fault? Is it the owner of the car? What if the owner of the car wasn't in it? What if they're in the back seat? Is it the telecommunications network that provides the satellite feed for them to work out where they're driving? Is it the car company that built the car? Is it the company that supplied the mapping software that the car works out where it is? Is it the computer system supplier that supplied the computer that the car uses to work out where it's going? I think that there's a lot to be said for the fact that if you and I have a collision on the road, regardless of how serious it is, and if I'm at fault, I'm at fault, and I'm the person responsible, and then everything else, whether it's the repair of your car, the replacement of your car, whether you're injured and you have to go to hospital or whatever, all trickles down from me either putting my hand up or the police or the court saying you're responsible and you have to sort this out.
Oh, it's very messy and very dangerous to not have someone actually behind the wheel.
Well, in Europe, they can't even work out legislation. They can't agree on legislation for countries that, share a border. So for argument's sake, Austria might not agree with Germany in terms of how they want to police it, or Austria might not agree with Italy, or Italy and Switzerland can't work it out. So if you've got countries saying, hang on, we can't work the legislation out here, I can't see it being a feature on Australian roads for a long time.
Trent, we'll just take a break. Trent Nikolic, managing editor, drive.com.au. Give us a call right now, 8223 0000.
Hold the doors! Hold the doors! Oh.
Next train, 50 minutes.
Oh, shut up. Wait, there's a KFC. $3.95 Go Buckets? Shut up and take my money!
Not everywhere and not forever. Pick up only.
Can you taste the tang? Cansy. Australian-grown Cansy apples are in season now. Sweet and tangy with a juicy crunch, Cansy apples are the fresh snack that can get you going in the morning and pick you up in the afternoon with their sweet deliciousness. Nothing crunches like a Cansy, so get them while you Cansy. Look for Cansy apples in-store now at your local supermarket or greengrocer. Cansy apples, the power of great taste. Cansy.
As we all know, SA is going through a housing crisis right now, but McGain Real Estate really want to help. If you're a landlord looking to sell your property, but you're feeling a bit guilty about disrupting an awesome tenant, McGain have landlords ready to purchase your property and keep that tenant in place. The team at McGain have hundreds of landlords ready to buy investment properties, so there's no need to stress about asking the tenant to move out or waiting for the lease to end. Visit McGain.com.au.
How far would you go for your dream kitchen? And how far would you go to get 25% off? How about 15 minutes up the freeway to Balhanna Kitchens by Design, to the largest showroom in the Adelaide Hills? Custom build your dream with our award-winning designers and get 25% off your cabinets with laminate bench tops. For a limited time, of course. Balhanna Kitchens by Design. It's not too far to go to make your dream a reality. balhannakitchens.com.au.
Hi, I'm Wendy Perry from Sea to Valley Startups. Some of the best things in life begin as ideas. If you're a business owner or innovator in the Barossa, Clare, Mid-North or York Peninsula, you can bring your ideas to life with free coaching from Sea to Valley Startups. Turn your passion into a thriving business and unlock your potential. Find out how Sea to Valley Startups could help your venture. Book a free chat at seatovalleystartups.com.au.
Go Vita, your local health food shops. Over 30 years health and wellness experience and over 300 natural health practitioners specialising in you.
Hi, I'm Ali from Go Vita Marion and Colonnades. This month we have a great offer on NutriVital Aged Black Garlic 1-a-day odourless capsules. Save 37% off recommended retail price with 30 capsules now $11.95. Follow directions for use.
Go Vita, Colonnades, Fairview Green, Marion, Mount Barker, Manopara, Semaphore and Tanunda.
Is there a God? What is the meaning of life? Do I actually need unlimited data to watch a few cat videos on my commute? Cute.
Question everything, especially your telco plan. Get the data you need at low prices with Aldi Mobile.
Angie McBride on 1395, Adelaide's 5AA.
It is 23 minutes past 3. If you want to log in to the 5AA Facebook and YouTube live stream, that is thanks to Foodland Supermarkets. We have Trent Nicholic, Managing Editor of drive.com.au. Trent, we have Fiona asking a question. Hello, Fiona.
Hi, guys. Thanks for taking my call. Angie, thank you for the chocolates last week. They were delicious.
Oh, no worries. I hope you enjoyed them.
I did. Trent, a quick question. I see Mercedes have got a new ute out. Have you had a chance to have a look at that?
Mercedes, you say?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so that dual cab had been out a few years ago now, and it's officially been discontinued. So you'd have to get one on the second-hand market. That's the X class, as in X for xylophone. The underpinnings of it are a Nissan Navara. So in terms of mechanical, reliability and how robust it is, it's fantastic. Not an issue there. And as far as I'm aware, Fiona, they're pretty good value on the second-hand market. I haven't looked at them recently, but I do know that they're pretty competitively priced. They weren't cheap when Mercedes-Benz first released them, which some people think is one of the reasons that they didn't sell as well as Mercedes-Benz would have been hoping. But as it's no longer available as a new vehicle, you've got to pick it up on the second-hand market.
Okay, all right, brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you, Fiona.
No worries.
Trent, speaking of Mercedes-Benz, on your website, it says that the Mercedes-Benz B-Class was axed in Australia, and you've just said about the ute. Are Mercedes just not performing that well in Australia?
No, I think what they're doing, Angie, is they're really starting to look at their model lineup and what they offer. I think, and Mercedes-Benz is not the only one doing this. I think what's happened, not just post-COVID, but certainly since that time, I think manufacturers have started to realise that Australia, if you look at it per capita, is one of the most convoluted new car markets anywhere in the world. So just to reiterate, if you look at a country like America, we've got more choice of new vehicles available per capita here than the United States. Same goes for somewhere like England. So for argument's sake, early on, before the COVID pandemic, you could have walked into a Mercedes-Benz dealer and there were multiple A-Class, multiple B-Class, multiple C-Class, multiple E-Class models. Then you went to GLA, GLB, GLC, GLE in the terms of the SUV. Now, even just me saying that to you just sounds ridiculous, like it's model after model after model. And I think what has started to happen is the fact that they've pared their ranges down by necessity, because supply's been a real issue post-COVID, and they've seen that Australians are still buying whatever their range consists of, and there's still a waiting list on some of these cars and still incredible popularity. I think manufacturers are just going, do we really need to complicate the situation by offering all of these different cars in all of these different segments? Or if we've got an A-Class but we don't have the B, can someone jump from an A to a C-Class and not have the B? Seemingly the answer is yes, and I think you might see some of these European manufacturers that have had really big, complicated ranges rationalise them a bit.
We've got an email from Len. Len is looking at buying an L34 Tirana. Is this a good investment car?
Yeah, Len, absolutely, mate. I mean, look, that's a classical 70s Australian muscle car, really, and you almost can't go wrong with any of them. And look, I've said to Jade's listeners before, Angie, that if you've got the money and you've got the wherewithal to buy any kind of classic Australian muscle car, right up to the end of Falcon and Commodore production. So anything that is a V8 engined car or a high-performance six-cylinder engine car, it's almost as good as super in the bank. I'm not saying you're going to buy a car now for $100,000 and it's going to be worth $1 million in 5 years. It's not going to do that, but you're almost certainly not going to lose money because the desire for these cars, the collectability of these cars and the interest in them shows no sign of waning. And because we don't make them anymore, there's always going to be a finite supply of them.
And the 2023 Mazda has earned a 5-star safety rating. Yeah, no surprises there. I think it's really something we've come to expect from any of the big manufacturers, but the Mazda CX-60, so medium-size, mid-size SUV, it's achieved the equal highest child occupant protection score, so that's interesting, by ANCAP testing, which is our Australian new car assessment program for crash testing. We've come to expect it of Mazda. It's a medium SUV, focus on family buyers and people who live around town and value safety. So full 5-star ANCAP rating for the CX-60. All right, but there is a recall for one that's isn't so safe.
Yeah, so look, what I'd say with recalls really quickly, Angie, is they're not a reason to panic. I think it's worth reminding everybody that manufacturers do it to be super cautious. Hyundai's issued a recall. I think it's 13 or 14,000 vehicles it affects. It's Veloster and Tucson. If you go to our website, drive.com.au, we have a link where you can go and input your VIN. So I think it's vehicles between model year 2014 and model year 2019, I think, from memory. That's off the top of my head.
I think it's 2017.
2017,
yeah.
Sorry. If you go to drive.com.au, there's a link. You can input your VIN and then it'll tell you whether it's affected. In short, whenever there's a recall issued, if your vehicle is affected by the recall, get it down to the respective dealer. In this case, Hyundai, doesn't matter who it is. Get it to the respective dealer because they're set up to repair them quickly, to rectify the issue and get you back out on the road safely.
So it was similar to, what was the car most recently, I think, had an airbag issue?
Yeah, Takata airbag one, Angie, was huge. That was all manufacturers. So that affected Honda and Toyota and Mitsubishi because Takata, I think, was the biggest supplier of airbags out of Japan at the time. That affected just about all of them. This is a lot less likely to be serious. The problem with the Takata one was in the instance of an accident, if the airbag went off, there was a potential it could throw shrapnel around the cabin. And we had instances of people being killed by them around the world. So that was a really serious one that we urged everybody to take, proper interest in and get it sorted. But this one, as I said, Hyundai might have noticed a manufacturing fault in one car in a random market somewhere globally that used this engine. And they would have said to all of their markets, let's just get them in, check them and make sure any potential issues been rectified.
So it's the 2014 to 2017 Hyundai Tucson, is it the Veloster?
Veloster, yep, that's right.
There's just over 13,000. So pop onto drive.com.au and you'll be able to tell whether you should get yours checked out.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Trent. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, Angie. Talk to you later.
Thank you, Trent Nikolic, Managing Editor of drive.com.au.
This is Adelaide's 5AA.
With the latest news headlines, I'm David Bruce. The Prime Minister is on his way to Lithuania for the NATO summit, where the Ukraine situation will be high on the agenda. Robo-debt victims may be able to claim more compensation in the wake of the Royal Commission into the bungled welfare scheme. Victoria Cross recipient Ben Roberts-Smith is appealing his landmark defamation loss, and Novak Djokovic has won his 32nd consecutive match at Wimbledon to move into the quarterfinals. The latest forecast, mostly sunny today, sunny tomorrow, a top of 17. Currently, it's 16. More news at 4, and as it happens, on 5AA.
At Terrain Tamer, we've tried to take all the hard work out of four-wheel driving, so you can be an expert as well as an enthusiast. Our parts interpreters talk fluent four-wheel drive because we're talking with 50 years' experience. We've got all the four-wheel drive parts you'll ever need, so you can toss them in the back for cheap insurance. When you're miles from the closest mechanic, you'll appreciate that advice. Terrain Tamer, we talk fluent four-wheel drive.
What's winter looking like for solar owners? With the upcoming energy increases, many solar owners can expect huge power bills from using expensive electricity at night, like running heaters. But with adding a solar battery from NRG Solar, you don't need to stress. We'll help you cure that winter bill and we'll help you pay off that battery even sooner. We'll set you up with 13.5 kilowatt hours of storage, a 10-year warranty, blackout protection and an awesome app for monitoring it on your phone. Don't wait. Visit nrgsolar.com.au today.
When you've been around for over a century, you know a thing or two. And Business SA and Ray White have almost 300 years between them. So when an alliance is formed between Business SA and Ray White Business Sales SA, they're bringing all their experience to your business, making sure it's in top shape, whether you're buying, selling, or somewhere in between. So go on, touch base with the experts. Search Ray White Business Sales SA. Proudly partnered with Business SA.
G'day, it's Rory Sloan. For most business PC brands, a 4-hour service guarantee means they'll call you back in 4 hours. But at Leader Computers, a 4-hour service guarantee on Leader's business range means they'll come to your work site and have you back in business inside 4 hours. Leader Computers are made here in Adelaide with better service, better support and speedy turnaround times. Grow your business and get behind a Leader. Find your local dealer at leadersystems.com.au.
One epic night, $1 million, countless lives saved. Samri's Bride Walk is back July 22.
Yeah, it was amazing. What a way to spend a winter's night, and it all helps the Samri team to do their work.
Well, it was a really long walk, but it was so worth it. Thanks to my sponsors.
Samri's Bride Walk raises funds to cure disease and save lives at Adelaide's iconic cheese grater. Join the challenge and help create a brighter future. Register now at samribright.org.au.
If you need a window, and not just anything will do, just call Statesman Windows. Factory direct to you.
Nobody beats Statesman Windows, not on quality and certainly not on service. Windows, sliding doors, bifolds and more. Made right here in Adelaide. Factory direct to you. For windows when and where you want them, call Statesman Windows. States.com.au.
Windows when and where you want them. Oh, windows when and where you want them.
$13.95, Adelaide's FIVEAA. This is Angie McBride.
It is 25 minutes to 4. Would love to chat to you about whatever you want. We talked to Robert D. Costella, marathon runner, Olympian, about the 30 years of the Asics Keanu gel. Do you have an old pair of shoes you just can't throw away? Slippers are a bit like that. And moccasins. My friend wears moccasins and he just cannot throw his moccasins away. We've been talking about the speed limit on the beaches. And we spoke to the Mayor of Alexandrina Council. Yeah, I didn't because I don't drive on beaches, so I didn't think that they need to be a certain speed. Otherwise you do get bogged. But as we can all agree, 100 is extremely dangerous. And also eggs, we're hearing eggs may go up. How much are eggs in the supermarket at the moment? What have you seen them for? I'm very lucky because I have friends who have their own chickens, so I get given eggs, and they are very, very good. So maybe that's the trend. Everyone will be buying their own chickens. And also, before the end of the show, we'll give away 4 tickets. So you and 3 friends to head along to the Adelaide Beer and Barbecue Festival. But you have to go to air. I'm being told, sure. Adelaide Beer and Barbecue Festival. It's got beers, barbecue, music. It's on this weekend, July the 14th to the 16th at the Adelaide Showground. Get your tickets now if you don't win them today. Beer BBQ Fest. BeerBBQFest.com.au. And we're also talking, we're going to talk to my next guest about, do you remember Y2K? The Glenelg Winter Arts Festival. It's on now at Collie Reserve until the 23rd of July. My next guest has a show called Naughty's Girl, as in Noughties, the Naughties hits of Y2K. Performer Chloe Castledine joins me now. Hello, Chloe, how are you?
Hi, good, thank you. How are you?
God, remember Y2K? That was 2000, wasn't it?
I know, and I'm not going to reveal my age, but I remember it very well, and the anticipation of what would happen at the stroke of midnight.
It was a complete letdown.
When it turned to the year 2000. I know, I wanted the world to shut down, at least for just 5 minutes. No, we just, we wanted a little bit of drama. Not too much, but just a little bit, and we were let down, unfortunately.
Well, what do you remember that when the clock struck midnight in the year 2000, our computers weren't going to work?
Yeah, I think it was some sort of, all the computers were going to shut down, which meant satellites and banks and everything was going to crumble. Who knows what? There was going to be a meltdown apparently, and people had bunkers under their houses and they'd stocked up just in case it was Armageddon. It was a bit full on.
Yeah, they've probably still got
for
all the
some people.
Yeah, all the baked beans in the cellar still.
I know.
So, Chloe, tell me about your show, Naughty's Girl, the Naughty's Hits of Y2K.
Yes, well, it's just a 1 hour jam-packed full show of all of the biggest hits that came out in the year 2000 and all through to 2010. So there were some big hits that came out at that time, especially because technology was getting quite advanced for music. So a lot of new sounds were coming out, and I think there's some memorable songs that I still think that I'm still listening to now, and a lot of people are still listening to it. I go to the gym, they're playing, in your classes. So those hits are quite timeless, and so I'm just doing a show with my cast band and impact dancers, and we're just going to reimagine these songs and perform them in a bit of a fun way.
And I've been stalking you a bit on Instagram, and my guess is Britney Spears songs will make an appearance.
You can't do a Naughties show without Britney Spears. It's impossible. You would be doing it injustice. So Britney will appear in this show.
So, Chloe, what were some of the trends that you remember from the Naughties on your hit list, like even fashion?
Oh, look. What's unfortunate at the moment is fashion. 2000 fashion is coming back right now, and it's mind-boggling. But it's the low-cut jeans they were huge. When you're in your teens and your early 20s, that was fine. But after you've had a few babies, low-cut jeans just don't feel as comfortable.
Was that with a tramp stamp as well?
So I think you had to have a butterfly on the back.
Yes.
Some sort of a butterfly or some diamantes on your lower back. And you had to have a big white chunky belt and some butterfly clips in your hair. Go the long top with the belt over the top look on your hips.
I did have the butterfly clips. It used to take me ages to do my hair, but I used to love it. It wasn't good if you needed to lie down. But then your hair, when I undid my hair, because I've got very straight hair, it was very, very frizzy.
I know, especially if you twisted them all back. Did you do the twist?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, I would twist it. So, look, I'm not going to lie. Some butterfly clips are going to appear in this show.
Well, I have a feeling I still kept mine. I'm going to have a look. I know.
That's amazing.
I think, because I'd love them so much. And
it's just amazing looking for fashion for this show, thinking, I had this. I actually had all of this, and now I'm having to scour through op shops to try and find everything I actually used to own.
But that's the thing, you would love to hold on to stuff, but you need the space for it. You need a whole shed just to hold on to every decade of things.
I know. Well, I was living with my parents back in the early 2000s, so they only threw all of my stuff out only a few years ago. So, a few years too late.
Chatting to Chloe Castledine, her new show, Naughty's Girl, Hits of Y2K. It is on the 15th and the 21st at the Glenelg Winter Festival. That is thanks to Gluttony, and it's down at the beautiful Collie Reserve there by the beach. Yes. What do you hope the audience take away from the show, Chloe?
Oh, look, I want it to just be a nostalgic, feel-good show, people up and dancing. We did 80s Ladies early this year at Fringe, and my main objective was to have everybody just screaming, goosebumps, just loving every song, singing along with it. I wanted something that was really feel-good, especially in today's current climate. It's just a little bit, everything's just a bit full-on, a bit tense, a bit dark. I just want it to be a fun show and everyone walks out on an absolute high.
Yeah.
So this is a concert-like show. It's not just a gig where we get up and sing a song. We're actually presenting this like a proper production. So the aim is for everyone to leave on an absolute high, just having 1 hour of the best time.
What's your background?
So I've been, again, I'm going to reveal my age, but I've been performing for about 20 years, and I managed the Cast Entertainment, which is like a bit of a production company / band, and we do a lot of corporate functions with my big band, the Cast, and I also do a lot of productions where I produce shows, Civic Park Carols. I put that one on with the City of Teachers Gully, and then I produce these types of shows and also do a lot of floor shows for corporate functions. I've been doing this for a while.
How did it come that you were personal assistant to actress Priyanka Chopra? For those who don't know Priyanka, she's an actress and she's now married to one of the Jonas brothers, Nick Jonas. How did it come that you worked for her? And where was it?
No, actually, it was in Adelaide. So back a while ago, because I love all things creative, so I used to do film production. So I was involved in a couple of movies here in Australia, just doing production and assisting directing.
Yeah.
Not that I was the director, just I was their lackey, basically. And then a new movie from Bollywood or from India came to their movie here in Adelaide. I think they struck some sort of a deal with the government. So they flew their whole company to Adelaide to do their Bollywood film called Love Story 2050, and Priyanka Chopra, of course, was the star of the movie. And so I was brought on to be one of the production assistants. But her and I actually ended up getting along really well. And so she claimed me as her personal assistant. She was like, okay, I'm taking her now, and she's going to be with me for the whole film. And so I ended up taking her shopping, and then she's like, don't bother going home, just stay here in the hotel with me. So which was great because we'd finish filming sometimes at 3 a.m. and then I'd have to be back at 7. You know, that probably was illegal. She was like, just stay here, don't drive home and back. And so we ended up striking up a bit of a friendship, which was really lovely. And we kept in contact for a few years after, but that's been a while now, so we've lost contact.
She's doing a lot of great things, isn't she? She's directing her own stuff, and she's got a few things on Netflix at the moment.
And it's funny, my kids were watching some movie and there's Priyanka, and I'm like, Mummy knows her.
Yes. So with the new show Naughty's Girl, Hits of Y2K, are you? It's a new show, isn't it?
This is brand new. So I was just finished doing 80s Ladies, and then Gluttony got in contact and said, hey, we're doing another festival. Do you want to put on a show? And I said, yeah, we're happy to do 80s Ladies. And I'm like, any chance you want to do something new? I said, sure. So I created this brand new show there and then. And we've just been putting it together over the last couple of months. And so this will be premiering this show Saturday night.
Oh, that's good. So Naughty's Girl, it's on Saturday the 15th and Sunday the 21st of July. You can go to glenelgwinterfestival.com for tickets and the program. Chloe Castledine, thank you so much for your time and have a great festival.
My pleasure. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
And I want listeners to call 8223 0000. You've got to reveal whether you have a tramp stamp. Tell us what it is. I want to know.
Please, we want to know. Absolutely. I might have to put one on myself.
SA footy legend Graham Corns joins the FIVEAA Sports Show. Monday arvos from 5. Thanks to BL Shipway, a South Australian institution looking after SA's hydraulic and pneumatic needs for over 70 years.
He's got his hoodie up and his head down, scrolling through his feed while strolling across the road. He's testing his luck and his new headphones. Then suddenly, he's testing your brakes too. Stop and take time to ensure your car stops in time and the brakes are all you hit. Let Automasters test your brakes before someone else does. Call 1300 Automasters.
Say g'day to Paving SA for stunning paved driveways, paths and entertaining areas. Say g'day to Paving SA for concreted driveways and paths. Say g'day to Paving SA for earth moving. And say g'day to Paving SA for retaining walls. Whether you're building or renovating, you'll find the team at Paving SA courteous, honest and on time. For paving, retaining walls, earth moving and concreting, say g'day to Paving SA. pavingsa.com.au.
When time has passed and respects have been paid, the comfort of a beautiful memorial to visit is undeniable. It's a place to reflect, to visit on birthdays and special occasions. It's even a place to share your hopes and dreams. It's why Adelaide Memorials takes so much care in designing and making a monument that reflects a life lived, so generations to come will know who came before them. Headstones, plaques, traditional or contemporary. Visit adelaidememorials.com.au.
It's always been my happy place. When the old arthritis set in, I thought my gardening days were over. Suffered for a while, actually. Nearly kicked myself when Carol told me about the joint replacement clinic. There's no gap to pay with health insurance and everything's included. Transport, physio, aftercare. They really look after you. Turns out I didn't need to fork out a cent to keep my trowel.
Ask your GP or visit thejointreplacementclinic.com.au. Renewing mobility, restoring life.
New Zealand, spectacular, safe and friendly. The perfect destination for a magical getaway. Right now, Holiday Wonders Mitcham have an exclusive 17-day fully inclusive package. It's our best deal ever. Save up to $980 per couple. Fly direct from Adelaide with Air New Zealand, touring North and South Islands with meals, accommodation and so much included, with more highlights than any comparable New Zealand holiday. Call now or visit holidaywonders.com.au. Holiday Wonders, Belair Road, Mitcham.
Here at FIVEAA, we're all about supporting local. One Lonely Barrel, wines of high quality and exceptional value. Join our wine club and receive additional benefits at onelonelybarrel.com.au.
Her mum's on the phone while she's on her skates.
Careful, honey, don't get too close to the road.
Wait, stop!
Let Automasters test your brakes before someone else does. Call 1300 Automasters.
Angie McBride on 1395, Adelaide's 5AA.
12 minutes to 12, we'll give away the Beer and Barbecue Fest tickets shortly. Just give us a call, 8223 0000 after 4 o'clock. Tim Geneva.
Hello.
Have you got a tramp stamp?
I beg your pardon? No, I am a clean skin.
You are?
And it's funny, it's become, like, tattoos became almost fashionable probably in the last 20 years. And I remember when, I think it was Collingwood in 1990, that team that won, because it'd been so long, a lot of them went off and got an ankle tattoo with a magpie on it and the like. So 2 years later, we won another premiership, and a few of the boys said they were going to do the same. And I think if we were doing it as a one-off, unique, I probably would have.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was copycat Dirty Rat. So I didn't do it. And I've never had a desire to do it since.
Not
so.
a nice tramp stamp along your back?
Oh, no, certainly not. No.
Now, shoes, we were talking to the legend Robert D. Costello about the Asics gels. They're 30 years.
Yeah.
What's your shoe story? Do you have a dodgy pair of shoes you just won't throw out?
I did like Rob D. Costello. I was into my running when he was winning. Loved it. So, and the Asics gels were brilliant. Still got them today.
Yeah.
Now, I've got a lovely story about, I can remember, this is, I'm now 57, so this would be about a decade ago. So I'm late 40s. I was at school footy and watching my son play, and I got a call from a mate saying, we're desperate, and they had to be to call up a 47-year-old. The B grade's short of players. Can you come out? So I've sort of gone, oh, crikey. Anyway, so I've quickly organised for one of the other parents to take my lad home. I've scooted home and gone, what boots have I got? Now, I had a pair of boots in the shed from 1995 that I was keeping because I played in the premiership in them. So I grabbed them and thought, they'll fit. No worries. Off I go. Played at Mitcham. It was raining. And I'm playing the game and all of a sudden I started slipping over and I thought, what's going on here? You know, I get in at half time, pull my boots off, and because they were so old and so brittle, all the sprigs had come off. I was on skates. It was any wonder I was falling over. Unbelievable.
Did you win that day?
Of course I did. Yes, come on, I don't play otherwise.
Now, what have you got on the show today? Well, there's a little story coming out of the football world today, isn't there?
Yeah,
wow.
There is. Unfortunately, Stuart Dew, the Gold Coast coach, has been removed from his duties. And look, knowing Stuart and great bloke, and I think
he was Port Adelaide, wasn't he?
Yes, playing the premiership for Port, and I feel very sorry for him and his family because he was signed till the end of 24. They were a little bit inconsistent, but he'd improved his win-loss record, and it was coming along close to 50% from, say, days of yore about 25%.
Yes.
You'd think that they were going in the right direction. He's not going to get the chance to do that. So it just probably also brings about the question of just how much time and effort do you put into the Gold Coast? Not many sporting teams, well, I don't think any, have been successful setting up a franchise at the Gold Coast.
Why is that?
It's not conducive.
Because of the heat?
No, because people are not there for sport. They're there
they're
for
there
every
for-
other reason.
right.
And either leisure or
Yeah,
business.
the weather, yeah, right.
And there's a lot of transient population that goes through, and some might have a passing interest, but
Okay.
not an invested interest. And so it
Right.
makes it very difficult for people to be on edge about winning. And that's what you have to be
Okay.
to be a successful club. You have to be on edge all the time. There's a certain element
Yes.
about being successful at the top level. You have to be on the edge, and this environment doesn't bring that about.
Okay.
There you go. So Stuart, unfortunately, a victim of a bit of that, I reckon.
That's a shame.
It is indeed.
So you'll talk that today, of course.
Indeed, we will. We'll have the lovely Caro on as a special little guest. She normally comes on Thursday for
Yes.
Harvey Norman Clearance Centre, but she's coming on tonight to go, I was right, but yeah, I wish she wasn't.
Yeah, that's a shame. Well, and you
It
want
is
to
a
take
shame.
people's calls, of course. 8223
And do you want my boots without the sprigs?
No, that's okay. Do you still have them, or did you actually put them in
Oh,
the
no,
bin?
I kept them.
Are you kidding me, Tim? No. Did you go and get them re-sprigged? If that's a word.
No such thing.
Thank you, Tim. Tim Ginniver and Stephen Rowe are on after 4 o'clock with Sam Tugwell, the sports show. Just a reminder as well, if you wanted to tune in, we're here now, and the boys will be in after 4 o'clock to the 5AA Facebook and YouTube live stream, all thanks to Foodland Supermarkets. And we were talking with Chloe Castledine, Y2K. Were you one of those people that collected like hundreds of cans of baked beans just to get through the whole Y2K? 8223 0000. Nick of Coromandel Valley, hello.
Hello, Angie. I'll be quick. The lucky last.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm going to take a picture of my chooks and send it to you.
Oh, lovely. Oh, yes, because you're very lucky. You got your chooks and you get the beautiful fresh eggs.
Yes. Number one, if you live in a suburb area, you get into trouble with the councils, and you can't keep a rooster.
Oh,
Out here, I've got 16 acres of land, and my the chicken shed is about half kaya away from the house.
Right.
So I get beautiful, healthy eggs, and what I do, I don't buy chickens because they never $40 to buy one these days, and you need a lot of eggs to pay for the chook. What I do, I've got a rooster, and one's brooding. I put the eggs underneath, and I got a little chook.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, that sounds beautiful. Hey, Nick, did you want to go to the Beer and Barbecue Festival?
Why not? I like my beer.
You do? All right, well, I'll pop you back through to Josh. You've won the Adelaide Beer and Barbecue Festival tickets for you and 3 friends, so you can take some mates along. You can celebrate beers, barbecue, music, July the 14th to the 16th at the Adelaide Showgrounds. And if you don't win tickets here today, get your tickets from bbqfest.com.au. Have a nice time. Nick, Josh will chat to you shortly. Now, I heard a rumour that our next guest has got some really completely dodgy old sneakers. Leith Forrest from 5AA Evenings. Hello, how are you?
Angie, I'm very well, but I'm shattered, and it's like a loss in the family, to be honest, because these shoes, Adidas Cloud Foam, I know they went out of style about 3 years ago, but I've been wearing them every day since, and many milestones in those shoes. Angie, I got both of my dogs wearing those shoes. Kids sporting events, all of those. But
the
unfortunately, I had a same shoe. I've worn them pretty much every day for probably 4 or 5 years. So much so that both soles have blown out completely. Like I'm now walking on my inner sole, and the inner sole's wearing down too. If you take the inner soles out, you can see daylight through the soles of my shoes.
I completely snorted, Leith. Leith, why that? They can't be good for your feet anymore.
No, they're not, but they are the most comfortable shoes I've ever worn. In fact, I've written to Adidas and asked, there must be a storage container somewhere from 3 years ago where people didn't like them because they've clearly gone out of fashion, but I still love to wear them.
What
I've been wearing them. Well, they literally, you feel like you're walking on a cloud, so that you don't have to do laces. You can just slip them on, slip them off. They're like an old comfy pair of slippers. But I had to retire them because I fell over like an ice skater at my local shopping centre 2 days ago, because when you've got the zebra crossing over like the speed humps in a shopping centre, my shoes have no soles, so they're like I hit the paint, I hit the deck like a 85-year-old man. I thought I busted my hip at the time, and because there's no soles, all the water went into my shoes and completely. So now what I've done is I've retired them till summer when it's a bit drier, and I'll bring them back out then.
No.
But
for your health and safety, and I think once the boss hears this, for workplace, you can't. You need to dump them. You need to find another shoe. Any suggestions for Leith on what is a good shoe for is it the Adidas Dream Cloud?
Cloud Foam. I've actually bought another pair. I actually have like 3 new pairs of sneakers, which my wife wants me to wear every day, but I just refuse because they're my favourite all-time shoe. And every time I look at them, I think of the memories we've had together. And so I can't. And people are telling me I should get them resold, but I'm not sure that's possible because there's less sole. I don't know what it's attached to.
We need to do an intervention. Leith Forrest, thank you. You'll be back tonight from 8 o'clock.
I will. See you then, Angie.
Yeah,
Thank you.
People are going to call you and counsel you. You need to dump those shoes, or what is a good replacement shoe for Leith. Thank you, Leith. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Josh. We will chat again tomorrow.
I can't wait to do the dishes.
Said no one ever.
Oh, self-serve checkout. It's so easy.
Hogwash. At Warner Close, you can retire scrubbing dishes, tedious grocery runs and boring chores. Because we cook your meals fresh here, take care of your linen, and we're on site 24/7. We even have happy hour. That's just a taste of retirement at Warner Close Murray Bridge. Visit warnerclose.com.au. SA Community Owned.